Debut here. Please welcome Miss Corey Marie, everybody.
Okay, now I'm petrified of this microphone here. I think it might be okay. Hi guys, I'm Corey Marie. I am brand new tonight. This is my very first time. I think like a lot of the people, I wanted to do stand-up, but I never really had the opportunity before. And found out Max Bar was doing it, and I said, Max Bar? Now, there's a place you can get your feet wet by walking into the bathroom. Because there's piss on the floor. Now, quick note of clarification, I'm not trying to imply that I was in the men's room. This is Max Bar. There's also piss on the room, on the ladies' room floor. So, now see what happened? 1 point for feminism there, though, right? Piss also in the ladies' room. But, you know, it's an interesting time for me to get into comedy because I am actually a feminist. And, you know, Jerry Seinfeld just came out with an interview a week or two ago. This really is a thing, huh? Okay, so Jerry Seinfeld came out with an interview recently, and he said that he didn't really think comedy by minorities or women he wasn't interested in it. And so that, of course, starts the whole debate online again about whether or not women can be funny. I was really hoping that they would have come up with a consensus before tonight, but I guess the jury's still out on that one. But no, I don't know. I just don't really get that whole argument because, like, even if you somehow believe that like men are just automatically funnier than women, just like naturally somehow, like you just can't deny that there are funny women. I mean, you look at you know, funny women who are like have significant careers. You look at Lucille Ball, who had a career of something like 60 years or something, and you know her show wasn't called, you know, I don't really care for Lucy. You know, let's see here. But I think it's tricky. You know, I do think that some of what Jerry Seinfeld said got taken out of context. I do agree with that, and you know, I do think that there are time-honored traditions in comedy that women just can't really do. Dick and ball jokes were a lot harder when they're coming from women. There, I think really, you know, guys don't like it when women talk about balls. That just makes them uncomfortable. If you don't believe me, fucking 4 of you just crossed your legs just now. I saw that. God damn it, Mark. But, you know, and it doesn't even have to be their own balls. Like, you can talk about any balls. Like, there are a lot of guys that even if you talk about sports, that'll make them uncomfortable. But, you know, ultimately, I think that, you know, there's some pressure for women to choose. Do you want to be funny or do you want to be attractive? And I guess really the upside is that if I fucking bomb tonight, I'm going to go home feeling so hot. So that's good. So I'm new to comedy, but I am used to being in a boys club. I draw comic books, I've gone to conventions, I draw caricatures, I'm playing a band, I do all of this stuff, and so, like, oh, by the way, side note there, drawing comic books for a living is, like, it seems like a really cool thing to say that you do for a living until you introduce to someone at a party who has, like, a real job. Like, I met a social worker the other day, I'm like, oh, luckily she went first, like, oh, you help put orphan babies into you know, into homes that have food and love, and I drew butts for 6 hours today. I just told her I was unemployed. It was just easier that way. But you know, it's hard being a feminist, like, on the internet and stuff, because there's fucking trolls. Like, this isn't, like, me being too sensitive. Like, the University of Manitoba just did a study, and they found all these people, and like, okay, all of these sadists and psychopaths and narcissists, and they found that, like, this is trolling on the internet is, like, their hobby. They all list this as a hobby. Like some people, you know, collect stamps, research their genealogy, do some scrapbooking. Some people, like, model airplane glue. But this is their hobby. These trolls wake up on Sunday morning and they're like, finally, some me time. Time to go harass people on the internet. And, you know, but it's like, I used to it used to really bother me, and I don't really let it get to me anymore, as of like last week. But I don't let it get to me because, like, it doesn't make any sense in real life. Like, when you really think about it, the stuff that trolls say just doesn't make any sense. I mean, especially when they're against the feminists and everything. It's all, make me a sandwich and get back to the kitchen. And, okay, but you know, I want to be taken seriously, so I'm going to take you seriously. I know we're in the middle of a heated debate right now, but you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe we would both benefit from a little break, have a little snack, see if we can raise our blood pressure a little bit, and you know, it might really help us see eye to eye and really understand each other's point of view on this YouTube video about cats. But I don't think you've really thought this through, because you really want me to go to the kitchen. This is the kitchen. This is the room where I keep the sharp knives that I routinely use to carve animal flesh, and also the fire and the poisonous chemicals and all these. I don't know. I'm not sure that they've thought that one through. But you know, here's a thing that you might have heard about if you're a nerd like I am. But there's no Wonder Woman movie yet. Okay? We have all these comic book movies and no Wonder Woman movie, and like people want to see this movie. This is Wonder Woman. This is like probably the iconic like strong woman hero in, you know, our culture, and there's no movie. And like people want to make this movie, people want to see this movie, but the studios just keep pushing it back. They're like, it's just too complicated, and you know, we just can't do that. It's too tricky to tell. Too tricky. Meanwhile, Guardians of the Galaxy trailer just came out. That's the one with Bradley Cooper as Rocket, the CGI raccoon with a machine gun. That's not too tricky to tell, though. Okay. I do call myself a nerd, though, because there are people who like stuff, and then there are people who like liking stuff. Now you're definitely in that second category. And like you know if you're a fucking nerd because you judge people by what they like. Like you meet somebody and then you find out they like Twilight, and you're like, oh. Okay. Or you find out like they're a juggalo. That one's a lot harder to come back from. And then, you know, on top of that, then you've got, you know, this whole idea that girls can't be nerds, which gets real tricky. Like there's this idea of the fake nerd girl. Because, you know, we have to fake our way into this exclusive club of guys with replica swords on their walls who spend all weekend playing Magic the Gathering. Which, don't get me wrong, Brian, sorry. Well, don't get me wrong, it's better than the Gathering of the Juggalos. It's a better place to spend your weekend. But I don't know, I think if you really think about it, you probably don't even want to date a nerd, like a real nerd girl. Because, let me just lay it all out here. So you take your date to the movie, you know, whatever fucking comic book movie, fucking Ant-Man. That is a real one, by the way. Paul Rudd shrinks to the size of an ant, but that's easier to tell that story than, okay. But you take your movie date and, you know, and you stay for all the bullshit and the credits, and you see the Stan Lee cameo, and you get to walk out explaining everything to your fake nerd girlfriend in the parking lot, and you get out there, you make a hand job in the parking lot. Good time. You take your real nerd girlfriend out there and you get into a goddamn fight in the parking lot about whether or not the movie sucked and why it wasn't like the comic book. Thank you guys, and Corey Marie.
Keep going for Corey, everybody! That's always a treat. Please put your hands